Big welcome to Cedric Burnside and Lightning Malcolm.
All right.
Hey, good evening.
Glad to be here, man.
The thing that just jumps out is it's a duo here. How come? How did that start, and why do you keep it that way?
That's what I grew up playing, just guitar and drums. And, me and my uncle had a band about 7-8 years ago called Burnside Exploration.
Which was awesome.
Yeah, and Malcolm played bass in that band with us for about a year, or so. And Malcolm branched off and started doing his own thing. And, me and my uncle, when we split up, about maybe 5.5 years ago, me and Malcolm got together and, started doing the duo thing. And my granddad always said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We always write and always, playing music, even if we just sitting on the front porch or in the front room, even though it's been a while since we practice now because we stay on the road so much,
A guy you know pretty well, huh? Earl Burnside, the name of the team.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I'm real good. Miss him a whole lot.
He's your grandfather. I mean, he's one of the famous bluesmen, I guess, of his generation.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He passed 2005, man. He was just, starting to get known, pretty good. He been out there all his life before I was born, and I guess around about 2001, he started getting his recognition that he should have had, and he passed 2005. So, everything I do in memory of him, always and forever. And I just thank God and R.L. Burnside for, making Cedric Burnside,
When you were a little kid, I mean, did you know, what was your sense of your grandfather when you were a kid and you were just hear him playing that music?
Well, I always loved him. And, my grandfather was, like my father. My father wasn't really around, when I was growing up. So I stayed with my grandfather all my life, from, 5-6 years old until I moved out of the house, So, I remember being 6-7 years old, not having a radio, had a little piece of TV, showed about 2 or 3 stations. And, they used to jam out on the back porch or either the front porch. It didn't matter, Every weekend they had little house parties. And, that's how I came up, all the grandkids out there kicking up dust.
Right.
But that's how it was.
Did you get invited in as a little kid? When did you first get to sit in there?
I always sat around and, looked, and just looking at drums, I was already fascinated with drums. That was my favorite instrument to see, And my dad was a drummer, Calvin Jackson. And, watching him and my granddad and them play on the, front porch sometimes, I always wanted to get on them. So one day I just, decided to say, forget it, and just jump on it, It didn't matter if I can play them good enough, I just jumped on them, So I just try to keep this music alive and glad people enjoy this music because I love to play it,
How did he take, late in life suddenly, all that success? What did it do for RL?
Well, my granddad, he never was the, the show-off type, He just never was. He was just a real guy, You go down, talk to him. He'll welcome anybody off the street. He can just see you today. He'll invite you in his house to have dinner, That's just how it was. So he wasn't really into fame. He enjoyed playing his music for the people and loved, to see the people faces and see them dance off his music. That's all he cared about.
Yeah. So again, we're talking with Cedric Burnside, who's the grandson of R.L. Burnside. But Lightning Malcolm, you knew R.L. too?
Yeah, pretty good.
What's your impressions? What would you add?
Well, he was one of my favorite musicians in the world, just coming up, loving music. And, just all I ever thought about was music since I was about 5 or 6 years old, So I would go out to see anybody I could, if I wasn't playing myself. And I didn't have too many guys right around where I grew up to learn off of. I just, learned up out the air, liked the guitar and, started hearing good blues music and it just grew, And then I would go out and try to find the people I wanted to see when I wasn't playing, to inspire me. And the first time I seen him, he was playing solo, I just thought, man, this guy's great. Mm-hmm. And next time I seen him, he had Cedric playing. Cedric was, about 15 years old or something, probably. And it was just good, I thought he was he was, one of the best singers in the world, one of the best guitar players, one of the best stage people. He just had a way with people, He had a way to adapt. And I learned a lot about how to get through the world from guys like that, a lot of things you learn by watching, but, you know, certain people you can just really pick up how to get along with people and how to, you know, make things work for other people and yourself as well.
Even when I write my own songs, I find myself writing songs to the hill country style, you know, because that's all I've been around. You know, I played other music, but hill country is my life, you know.
Isn't it cool, though, that music is staying alive, even as everything changes?
Oh, man.
I
love it.
And it's the most influential right now. You know, I mean, the blues, like we was talking last night, you know, like it's the one that cross over where a lot of blues won't.
It's the sound that still sounds fresh, and you hear it, it's like it sounds like something new.
Yeah,
where
it's the
so
basics,
many blues styles are getting
you
stale.
know,
You know?
The basics will always be fresh, and they only, you know what I mean. Like you step off from that, and it'll kind of be popular for a while, and it'll kind of die off. But that root will always be the root.
Yeah,
it will always be there. You know, that
I love the
change.
music so much, man. I mean, I'm glad that people love this music, and I love playing it for them. But if we didn't have but one fan, I would play for that one fan, man. I'm
We'd
serious.
wear
Hard.
their ears out.
2 or 3 hours for that one fan.
Just need
you know?
one porch. Huh?
I just love to do it. You know, a lot of times when I'm in the club and it's crowded, when I get in my zone, it's like I'm in there by myself anyway. It's like practice. You know, I don't see anybody. I'm just loving it. You know.
You played with Otha Turner for a while. Did I read that somewhere?
Well, I was friends with him and, you know, jammed in his yard a lot. But you know, mostly he played with the family drums. You know, when we played guitar and he'd sing with me. You know, and some people filmed it, but you know, I just learned from him more than really played with him. You know, there was a lot of guys I was more friends with them than just jumping up on stage playing with them. You know, if they was tight by themselves or with who they had, I didn't try to. It wasn't so important to be seen with them. But it was important to listen to them. Right. And sometimes I like to not play because I could just close my eyes and just feel their music, you know. Yeah. I never really watched guitar players' hands because everybody move their hands different. And it confused me more to watch the hand. If I just look at the ground and think of, just let it soak on me, that's the best way for me to pick up stuff.
That's neat. I know you guys write most of your songs.
Yeah.
Do you find like there's certain areas that you have to write about or don't write about?
Well, you just make up stuff out of regular day life, you know. Writing old blues stuff, but the words you talk about is stuff going on today.
Right.
And I think that's a good thing. It's encouraged us to write more, you know, to have more confidence to just write about the things you see, and maybe somebody listen to it, will, you know, stop and listen to it and know what you're talking about. It might help some people, you know. If it just make them laugh and smile, you know, it might be a silly song. It just make them laugh, but you need that too. Sometimes you talk about something real serious, and sometimes it's just kind of a song. Some of them just for the women to shake their body to, you know.
The shaking will be going on tonight at the Archfield, right?
Oh, yes.
With Galactic on the bill.
Yes, it will.
One thing is so obvious watching you play that you're not just putting in an hour and getting your paycheck cashed. I mean, it's so real.
No, we supposed to play 90 minutes last night.
Yeah,
we played about 3 hours.
Mike Dew's over here saying you kept him up all night because you wouldn't stop playing. So.
Well,
and then,
a couple came in after the show was over. And, you know, they missed the whole show. And they was like, man, can you guys play us a couple more songs? So we ended up getting...
got back on stage.
I think I wrote, man, Joseph, man, he cool as I don't know what, man.
Yeah.
He had took everything down. He shot everything right back up, you know.
And we played two songs for those people who got off work late.
And we jammed for them people that didn't hear.
But you got fans for life there. That's
yeah. Hey, that's what it's all about, man.
How does the music do when you take this like to Europe and places like that where it really is not?
They love it.
Oh, they enjoy it, man. You know, even though some of them might not be able to understand what we're saying. they love our music. You know, most of them can speak English, but some of them, you know, don't really know, you know, what we're saying. But they say the groove, you know,
and the
it's
feeling.
just something about it, you know. So I'm just glad that they love it. You know?
Yeah, it's that music that transcends cultures. We've promised maybe this summer a new CD coming our way.
Oh yeah, definitely ought to be pretty soon.
Oh yeah,
and
so y'all look out.
Yeah, and I hate to twist your arms, but the next time you're in the area, you got to come back here again because that was too much fun.
Anytime. We thank y'all for keeping this music going out over the airwaves and stuff. You know, giving the people some
that Mississippi sound.
A good alternative.
Coming on out through the light.
Cedric Burnside and Lightning Malcolm, thanks again, guys. It sounded great
thank
today.
You guys.
Thank y'all, man.
It's WNCW. Get to the Ford Blues Band.